Hey beautiful people, welcome to the channel in the No Tarot 1122. I hope everybody is doing well, vibing, chilling, doing your thing, looking good, feeling good, smelling good, and all of that. All right, let's see what's happening with Survive for the Tribe. Keep in mind that this is not going to resonate with everybody. Take what fits, leave the rest. Feel free to check the other signs that I do post. And if you like how I do my readings, hit that like button for your girl. If you would like to book a reading with me, look in the description box for the link to my website, okay? Keep in mind, for entertainment purposes only, sometimes my readings do have a tendency to take place over 3 or 4 months. Please use your own discretion. If your life or the situation happens to line up with the reading, just use it as a guide, okay? But use your own discernment. All right, so let's see what's happening here for my Leos, please, and thank you. What does Leo need to know? And thank you so much for your patience waiting for me to post. I greatly appreciate y'all. All right, I'm not posting that much, but when I am here, I am here. I do appreciate every last one of you, okay? All right, let's see. Give me messages for Leo. What does Leo need to know? All right, Leo, follow your bliss. Do what inspires you. Creatively. Creatively, oh my God. We started already. New direction, all right? Heart meets mind, all right? No fear-based decisions, yes, okay? Paint a beautiful picture, baby. All right, so get back to what brings you joy here. All right, let's see. Give me messages. All right, so Leo, it is darkest before dawn, a breakdown before a breakthrough. Major shifts is in progress, dissolving barriers and ascending. So Leo is telling you to do what you love, do what you came here to do, tap into that creatively, into that creativity here as well, okay? Paint your own canvas. All right, give me one more, please, and thank you for Leo. All right, and Leo, please know that usually before your breakthrough, like it says, it's always a breakdown. So sometimes we experience tower moments, and it seems like it's the worst thing in the world. But little do you know that rubble is actually building the foundation for something better, something stronger here for you. All right, so giving and receiving, everything is energy, reciprocity. Give and receive easily to others and yourself, random acts of kindness. All right, so I like this for you, Leo, okay? So somewhere along the line, you know, maybe you're doing it now, you have given to others and you will receive, okay? Very graciously here, as a matter of fact, okay? So I like this for you, Leo. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Give me 3 more from my Leos, please. And thank you. Ask and you shall receive. All right. So we have serenity, taking care of your vibration, positive environment, clear your space. That's chakra cleansing. All right. And balancing here. There's a paradigm shift. New experiences is integrating now. Materialization. Growth, expansion, progression, cycles change. And that's crazy because that's actually clarifying darkest before dawn. Before dorm. Somebody here can live in a dorm. Here we go. I'm not starting this reading over, okay? We just going to have to deal with it today. All right, like we do every other day. All right, so anywho, there is some type of shift happening here. So like I said, things might be feeling a little chaotic. You might be wondering, what the heck? Shift is happening, so just go with it, all right? Try not to lose your mind or, you know, lose hope or whatever. Things are actually working for you, okay? And clarifying, giving, and receiving is high vibes. Surround yourself with positivity, absolutely. Connect with yourself and source. You might want to listen to some solfeggio music or frequencies, rather. To raise your vibration and also connect with those that are like-minded, your tribe. All right, give me 3 more for my Leos, please, and thank you. Somebody here could actually collect vinyl records here too. All right, let's see. I'm quite sure you got some goodies. All right, let's see. We have heart and mind union, harmony of heart. joy and vision with mind, plan and action, faster manifestation, higher vibration. So basically this is telling you align yourself with what it is that you want, and heart and mind together manifest what it is that you want. And this is actually clarifying, follow your bliss, do what inspires you, and serenity, taking care of your vibration, harmony of heart, joy, and vision. Absolutely. All right, so do what you came here to do and find some joy in it. All right, clarifying darkest before dawn and paradigm shift is life surfing. Feeling capable of overcoming adversity, no expectations, approaching life like a sport. All right, so there's that. And like it says, feeling capable of overcoming adversity is darkest before dawn. We know that tower moments happen when shift is happening, changes are happening. Okay, so this is what's happening here. You're going through it with ease. All right, let it happen. We're going to go with the flow. All right, and giving and receiving in high vibes is clarified by what? That lands on serenity, creating reality. Look at this. Live your best life by design. You have an amazing experience. Freedom lifestyle, infinite potential. Okay. So I like this for you, Leo. Giving and receiving here. Giving out of generosity, not out of, a want or a need. Hey, if I give, I'm going to get blessed. All right. I'm just saying, if you're able to give time, money, energy, whatever it is, a few minutes, spare moments of your time or whatever, that's a blessing in disguise here as well, giving it freely to those that need it. Okay, so I like this for you. It's going to be returned to you. All right, and creating your reality, surrounding yourself with positivity. And you are the author of your own story. Okay, so live life how you see fit. All right, and if you don't like it, hey, you know what? You can change it. Okay. And then the overall energy is crisis, restructuring life, blessings within, clearing space, brings solution, see deepest needs and emotions. So right about now, you might be reconstructing your life, taking your power back into your own hands, not giving to situations, people, places, and things that are not giving some type of positive return. All right, if it's depleting you, you know you need to let that go. Unplug from it and let it go. Pull back your energy. Do what you came here to do. Find what brings you joy in this life. It's not just about working, paying bills, procreating here. This is finding your purpose here and living that truth. Finding your tribe and surrounding yourself with positive energy here too. And then learning how to not take every setback as oh, it's woe is me. It's like, yeah, I trust, I have faith, I'm being guided, I'm being led, I'm being protected, and I'm gaining wisdom through this experience as well. And I'm going with the flow and allowing shift to happen in my life. All right, so every time we go through something, it's not always a bad thing, It's a little uncomfortable because we like stability. But the thing is that in order to, make change happen, sometimes we have to deconstruct what we have built before and build something better. All right, so let's see what else we got going on for my Leos for this week. What we got going on for Leo for this week, please, and thank you. All right. The Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Seek out information that will help you. All right. So there may be a need to be a little stealthy here. Work under the radar. All right. Keeping certain things to yourself, your game plan here, especially if there's something that you are working on, planning on, working on here as well. You're doing it in the background or whatever it is. All right. There's a need for you to be wise about it, not, invite everybody into your business here as well. And also, if you are in some type of business here as well, this is telling you to, be wise. All right, let's see. stay like 3 or 4 steps ahead of what's going on. All right, let's see. And anticipate change here as well. All right, let's see. A change for the better. I said anticipate change, and a change for the better is happening here. Okay, so there's some type of growth happening here, transformation happening in your life. I like this for you. All right, so Leo, for someone here, you also might be getting some type of promotion or recognition here or something like that. There's a space for you to grow. Right about now, you might not be satisfied with where you are, so you may be working on doing a lot better for yourself, either taking classes, finding different avenues to get you where you want to go. All right, someone here also may be trying to promote within a company here, and sometimes you have to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that gives you a hand up. All right, up the ladder here as well. Like sometimes working in the county, it's not about, I hate to say it, it's not about your test scores or whatever, how long you've been on the job. Sometimes it's about who you know. All right, word of mouth. So with that being said, this might be something that's happening for you, okay? Or maybe there's a position or something that you would like to do, you might be seeking out avenues to get where you want to be, okay? All right, so give me messages here, please, and thank you. Someone here also may be trying to grow their business, and you might be looking for safer avenues to do so, so it looks like you are seeking out information here through the grapevine, okay? All right, you will be taken care of in difficult times. Like I said, it's a need for you to be shrewdful and resourceful when it comes to business. This is not just for my business owners. This is for those of you that are spending money. We spend money every day. All right, some of you might have to shop around, like, you know, during this time, you know, gas prices are high as hell. You know, so you might have to shop around different places and things like that for your supplies. If you are someone that is a creator, you know, you're doing your own thing. So sometimes you might have to revamp, revise, you know, kind of barter some things here as well. All right, but know that you will be taken care of in difficult times. August could be significant here. There's a change for the better that is coming up. Things might be clearing up here for you. And then also there's romance in the air. I can feel it in my fingers. I can feel it in my toes. All right, I'm sorry. Just reminded me of that song. All right, so let's see. The overall energy is a tiger doing something risky, taking a chance. Just make sure that, you know, you're just not jumping off blindly to, you know, try to figure something out. But like I said, you know, for someone here, I think that you are going to be taken care of. I think this is an opportunity for growth, expansion, change, transformation. For somebody here, it looks like you are getting the information that you need here as well. There could be several areas where you are receiving what you need, either information, resources, a plug or something like that. I don't know. A plug in the right way. All right. I'm just saying, a step up. Things are starting to grow here. And then also, Leo, I see in certain areas that you're going to be meeting other people here as well. That's that giving and receiving. You exchange of information, gifts, talents, accolades, whatever it is. You know, hey, you look good today. That pepped up somebody's mood today. They're able to go home and create. They're able to go home and write. They're able to go home and treat someone else better, raise that kid, you know, with more confidence and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have been haggard and tired out and has a kid at home that's rambunctious all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Just constantly chitter-chatting and talking and tinkering and things like that. And right now it might seem like that kid is all over the place, but not realizing that that is someone who is going to create something, invent something, write something, stand up for something later on in the future. But your few words gave that person enough fuel to continue to go forward. We all pay into each other. You know what I'm saying? be it negative or positive. Try to remain positive and pour positively into other people, because when you do that, it trickles down to other people. You know, we're supposed to be here to love on each other, to teach each other, to mold each other, to help each other, to stand up with each other. And a lot of times you find people that are you know, wanting to tear others down so they can feel superior. So with that being said, be mindful of who and what you pour into, because that energy that you pour out is definitely important. It's a ripple effect. If you drop a little pea in the water, you will only see the little drops, but as the ripple, you know, starts to spread out, it gets wider and wider. That's that negative and positive energy that we're putting out there. What you do to someone, say to someone, or do for someone today is going to affect multiple people along the way. We're all connected. All right, so I like this for you, Leo. Like I said, taking a leap of faith on something, doing something that could, you know, it could go either way. But like I said, you're not jumping blindly. You're gathering the information that you need in order for you to fly here, okay? So you will be taken care of. You will get the resources that you need, the information that you need. Just like I said, you want positive energy coming to you, make sure that you're emitting that out, all right? Someone here, you could be in August, Leo here as well, or these changes could be taking place in August. Let's see. All right, not to apologize, but they're going to be cutting the grass over here in a few, so I probably will try to cut this out. Not to mention, I need to kind of rest my hands. Let's see. All right, don't give up now. Absolutely. Fear of failure. Not putting yourself out there. Hard to recoup and recover. Try again and find a new way. Ask for resources. Ask for information. Don't just try to do it on your own, okay? I'm just saying. And then on top of that, hey, if you receive help from somebody, give that person their kudos. Give them their flowers. You feel me? Don't act like you did it all by yourself. It was all you. Give that person that, you know, that recognition. Hey, this person helped me out with X, Y, and Z. You know, I was doing such and such, but this person gave me some input that made it 10 times better. Don't be afraid or selfish to hold back the accolades on somebody else. You understand? Give them their flowers. All right? Because trust me, you don't give someone their flowers, when your flowers are due, they're not going to give you ish. You won't get recognized for the things that you do, okay? So be upfront. All right, there's that. All right, there's an interview here. So someone here, this could be about a job or possibly working together with someone here. Also, you may not be finding what it is that you want. Yeah, somebody here could be micromanaged right about now, and maybe there's no room to grow or anything like this. And then also, this could be somebody that's looking for a position within a company here as well. Oops. Oh, also for somebody here, this could be somebody that is at work actually riding your coattails here as well. Someone here could be reaching out to the union or something like this for help. All right, in order to get someone off of your behind or constantly harping on you and things like that, okay? So with that being said, do what y'all gotta do and don't give up now, okay? All right, somebody here could be interviewing for a new position, or either you could be coming in to give a statement for somebody. Oops. All right, give me messages here, please, and thank you for my Leos. All right, there's a huge decision. Somebody here is in the wrong field. You're not able to grow. You're not able to give your gifts and talents. You came there for this position. Possibly it was needed at that time. You came, you did, you saw, you conquered. Now it's time to move on. All right, so there's a huge decision that you may need to make. And if you are thinking about moving on to somewhere else where you can actually grow and flourish where you are, take your time, you know, and look, especially while you're in something here where it's paying your bills. It's doing what it's got to do, but this is not where you need to be. All right, so it's time to fly the coop here. So take your time, find what it is that you truly love to do, where you can actually, you know, stand up and stand out, you know what I mean? Literally. And decide to open a new door. All right, let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you for my Leos. Use your intuition, which is crazy because that was on the bottom of the deck. You may be thinking about resigning or retiring from this position, this job, this place. Someone here may be a little nervous about stepping out on faith to do something else, but that's where the faith resides, okay? All right, so knowing that you'll be taken care of, just make some wise decisions. Like I said, don't just jump off the cliff and not know where you may land. All right, you want to make sure that there's some ground there. This could be a toxic work environment that you are leaving now. If this is not a work environment, like per se, you could be an entrepreneur. Maybe you're working with other entrepreneurs, and you may realize that some of the people that you hooked up with may have sound cool at first, but you might, be dealing with some people that's not so cool after a while. Or maybe you want to do your own thing. All right, let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you. All right, don't give up now. You have a lucrative idea that brings new sources of income and inspiration. Someone here, you may be thinking about leaving a corporate job or working for somebody else. You're fulfilling their dreams, their desires, filling their pockets, and maybe you got an idea that you feel that will take off. Try it and see. You never know, and don't just listen to everybody around you, because everybody is not going to, dig what you got going on. It's not for them, sweetheart. Your people will come, okay? If you like to paint, you like to do art, whatever it is, you want to, create a drive-in service. I don't know where that came from, but something like Uber, Hop, Skip, Drive, or whatever. It took one person with one idea and one car or resource, and now look at these different, services that we have here. Go for it. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, but sometimes you have to just quiet the noise and go do what God told you to do. Your higher power, that inner chi, you know what I'm saying? Do what you came here to do. If it doesn't work the first time, it doesn't mean give up. Try a new way. Seek out more answers and things like that can better help you. You understand there's a better way of doing everything. So with that being said, don't give up. All right, so this is something that's very creative. It's a new job, and for some of you, it's creative work here as well. You might be creating other things that other people can use. All right, so let's see. Give me messages here, please, and thank you for my Leos. All right, so we have the shadow card, so interview. It says overlook, not paying attention to details, passed over for promotion. Check your work. It may be time to go. All right, so for interviewing here as well. So if you know that you are putting into a company, your work is top tier and you're being passed over, ignored, micromanaged, this could be something that is truly personal. I hate to say it, but sometimes you get, people are people. Sometimes you'll get people that just don't like you or whatever the hell it is. It's not even a you problem. It's a them problem, and they might actually not give you your accolades, not give you your flowers and things like that. Well, go where you are celebrated, not tolerated, okay? Some people like to make, one person, especially if you're a kind, generous person, you know what I'm saying? There's other people that don't have that same spirit that will try to just, beat you down for whatever reason and make other people feel some type of way about you. And a lot of people will see your worth. They see that you're a golden baby. They see that sparkling halo that you have. Whatever it is that you bring to the table, it's a beautiful thing. You're very good at it. You're talented. But then you have people that will, try to diminish you. They don't want you to be seen. They don't want you to be heard. So they will try to do things to sabotage you. And also to have other people look at you in a light like, who they think they are. Oh, yeah, I heard so-and-so say this about this person, when they don't know shit about you. They didn't get a chance to sit down and have a conversation with you to say, you know what? I think so-and-so was a little wrong. This person, Leo, is not exactly how, so-and-so described them. I don't see any of that. But unfortunately, we have the beehive mentality where they have to have a leader. They do what they're told and not stepping out from amongst the crowd. Maybe you are somebody that is not a follower. Maybe you are somebody that is independent and you're a free thinker. You don't have the beehive, the collective mentality here. Maybe you are someone that is, willing to step up and challenge something like, hey, I think the blueprint on that over time, if you put 50,000 pounds of weight on this right side, it's going to lean like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So maybe we might want to, fix that. Maybe you are the one that questions, things and things like that, and then steps back and goes, you know what, that's not right. I don't know. Maybe you stepped on somebody's toes by speaking up on something that was, unjust, or unjust. So I don't know. But sometimes you get scenarios like that. And I'm going to put it up to you to say this. It is not up to you to figure out why somebody else has an issue with you. Okay? If it's something that you've done or said that wrong, somebody try to correct it. You feel me? But if it's somebody that just does not have any kind words or treating you kindly, if they have none of that for you, then that's not a you problem. That's a them problem. And it's not up to you to figure out what somebody else's problem is with you. There's always going to be somebody that has an issue with you somehow, some way. And if you spend your life trying to fix everything that someone else feels that's a problem, you'll never live your life freely. Okay? Try to do no harm. Try to cause no harm, no pain. And then on top of that, stay away from people that are trying to cause it for you. Okay? There's that. All right. So anyway, so like I said, you might be overlooked for a position or something like that. Also, what I've had to learn too is just like high school and jobs, you have people that have cliques, okay? Sometimes they only like their certain people to promote and things like that and give them, positions and things like that. So just be mindful of the cliques and things like that, okay? Because they will try to make you seem like you are, against them and when in actuality you're possibly being ganged up on. All right, so hidden agenda. Keeping secrets from you, betraying others to get ahead, ask questions, instant karma. Okay, so the wrong field. That's what this is clarifying. Like I said, you could be working around people who are just about self. They will step on anybody else's head. They will do the most ruthless things in order for them to get the recognition that they want. Sometimes you got people that are just really greedy or attention hogs. You understand? I did this and I did that. I'm the best of the best, the creme of the creme. My thing is this. If you are the best of the best, you don't have to tell nobody, okay? Word of mouth will tell everyone who the hell you are. You don't have to brag and say, I'm this and I'm that. You understand? Your reputation sets before you. Okay? So with that being said, you might have somebody here that feels like they're on their high horse when in actuality, they're sitting on a high pile of poop. Okay? So I don't know. You might be realizing that, like I said, this is not where you belong. Working around the wrong people and the wrong field, you're not able to flourish. So definitely changes coming through. You could have been here for a temporary basis. Sometimes you are actually put in positions or in people's lives or in scenarios where it's not just for you. Maybe uncomfortable for you, but you being in the wrong field here and this, what's happening to you, somebody may be trying to overshadow you, not be fair. You know what I mean? Having a cliquey, vibe here. Holding people back from promoting. What you may be doing here in this situation, you may be exposing somebody else's wrongdoing. All right? You may be that person's last straw before karma hits, okay? I'm going to put Leo in this situation here, knowing doggone well Leo only means to do, to come, to help, to provide. You know what I'm saying? Giving a helping hand when needed, to uplift, to help. But this person over here, they're going to either have a choice to either get along and help, be cordial, do what they're supposed to do. Or if this person tries to tear Leo down in this situation, or whoever you are, it doesn't necessarily that you're a Leo or whatever, but this is a Leo reading, I'm just saying. But whoever this is, they're given a chance to act right. literally. And depending upon what they do, that's their karma coming back. You feel me? So with that being said, Leo, you might have been put in a position where Source, your higher power, may have known that you are, in need of this money right now, in need of this position, in need of, I hate to say it, but this lesson, toughen that, thicken that skin a little bit. You understand? But also, you are also somebody else's karma. This person didn't treat you right, so guess what? Things start falling apart or start happening within their life. Could be even their personal life, because you're not good to people. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, let's move on. August could be significant. You could start to see certain things clear up. All right, in August. All right, so let's see. So on the bottom of the deck, we have ambition, candle, taking action, hustle, manifesting money. All right, your career may be in management, high ranking, very visible here as well. Somebody here, you could also be into athletics. For one, you might be in an office setting. For two, your passion, your drive might be, physical fitness or whatever. Maybe you're trying to, start a channel or start a gym or something like that. Start where you are. Get down. Ma'am, no. Go on. Get down. No. Out. You feel me? So with that being said, start where you are. I don't know where you are. The weather's kind of crazy here. But, you could start outside with just you and a camera and a pro stick. You know what I mean? Build it. They will come. All right, so let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you. All right, so use your intuition. Have insurance for a rainy day. In other words, have a backup plan. Your savings here or whatever it is, it may actually help you out. Someone here may be actually thinking about going into the insurance industry. But for me, this is kind of like a backup plan. All right, save for a rainy day. Yeah, look at this, unemployment. I didn't even see this. All right, so for someone here, you may be at a job where it has taken a minute to probably find something that you're wanting here too. You could have somebody here, like I said, that is micromanaging you, trying to push you out the way here. And this could lead to some type of unemployment, but I'm going to put it to you like this. Even though that money isn't money in from the same place, use what God gave you, okay? Use this experience, tell your story, all right? But somebody here, you need to save up some money here. And then also, I want you to look at it like this. I know this is kind of crazy to say it, but if you're going to be unemployed, you're unemployed anyway. So use that to your advantage, okay? Take a class, do what you need to do. If you're getting unemployment insurance or whatever, still look for your job. But then, while you're sitting at home or whatever, filling out applications or whatever, create something on your own, okay? I'm just saying, hell, if you know how to do resumes, create a service to fill out resumes for somebody or create resumes here. Yeah. Let's see. Give me 3 more, please, and thank you for my Leos. Termination of employment, job loss. See, this is what I'm talking about. All right, multitasking. Absolutely. So you're not just sitting there. All right, you're not just sitting there. This is what I'm talking about. All right, going at it alone, trying to do it all by yourself, not a team player. Collaborate, ask for help. All right, so instead of stressing out, trying to overwork yourself here, ask for help here. Somebody here, this is where that grapevine comes through. Seek out information that will help you. You will be taken care of in difficult times. All right, there might be programs and things like that that you can actually apply for. Ask for advice. I can't make it up, see? It's telling you don't give up now. You got lucrative ideas. Ask for advice. How to get this started. All right. You could be multitasking here as well. Look at this. See, you got somebody here has a lot of responsibilities and you're not getting your accolades here for what it is that you do. All right, so with that being said, somebody here could be trying to get you up out the way. All right, so what's the overall energy here? Don't spend too much, right? Resign or retire. So you could be leaving this situation, so voluntarily or involuntary. Like I said, you know, have a backup plan, savings, insurance, or another source of income. Don't spend too much right now. You might feel that this is coming down the line. Like I said, someone here, you could be feeling like, you know, they're harping on you and things like that. So just prepare. All right. Give yourself an out. All right. Let's see. That's for the shmoneys. Yeah, I gotta get ready to get up out of here. Ooh, hold on for a moment. Okay, so let's see. What is this romance in the air? Somebody's name could be Rose. Rosalind. Rosalie. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there's romance in the air right now. Looks like you might have somebody that's pretty solid coming towards you, but also it kind of seems like you're more focused on finances right now. Let's see, you might be holding back from love right about now, not really looking at it here. I know this is going to sound really, really strange. Somebody here could have respiratory issues or something going on with the lungs. Somebody here could have smoked cigarettes back in the day. Let's see. Give me messages. Anywho, I know that was random. All right, give me messages here, please, and thank you. Ooh, look at this. This is brand new. Whoever this person is brand new. They're financially secure. Okay, let's see. So this makes sense. For somebody here, this could be someone you meet through work. Somebody here could have Irish background here. Or it could be into Celtic music. Let's see. This is someone that is your equal. And this is a new opportunity for both of you. Yes, look at this. All right, so I don't know if you meet this person on the job, like maybe both of you get hired at the same time. But man, this is crazy. All right, so let's see. Give me messages here, please, and thank you. Yes. All right, let's see. So for someone here, you may have dealt with someone in the past that was a bit, you know, manipulative here as well. So you might not really be looking for, yeah, you're kind of holding back on the connection here. And if there is something that comes through someone here, you might drag this out so long to where the person's like, you know what? I don't think Leo is really interested. But it's because you've dealt with nothing but, or possibly the last person that you dealt with, this person was really manipulative. Let's see. Yeah, but like I said, you're taking your time with this person. You're not rushing in. Yeah, like I said, you're taking your time with this person because of the past. All right, you've invested in situations here that were toxic, all right, or just, you know, for the physical, just for the thick of it, all right, yeah. So right now, you're following your intuition, you're waiting on clarity, okay? You're also possibly asking your higher power about this situation, or this person. You might be getting a little feedback from others or someone that's very close to you that can give you reliable information about this person. So right now you're just following your intuition and just, you know, kind of, you know, just chilling. I do think that there is physical attraction here as well. You also may like to converse with this person as well. So the conversation is real cool, but because of past experiences here, you are, you know, keeping your sword is down for right now, but you're waiting for clarity. All right. Does this person walk it like they talk it? Literally. Okay. So, and you'll be quick to cut this person off if it even seems like they're coming in to play games, or if this is going to be something that's not going to move forward or anything like this. You may quickly friend zone this person here too. Like I said, you're not playing games with this person. All right. Although you do find this person attractive, possibly very desirable, but you're not allowing this person to come in and stress you out. All right. So absolutely not. Get somebody else to do it. All right. So let's see. Give me more on the love situation, the romance in the air. So you do have a lot. You're giving somebody a lot of attention. But like I said, you're not, you're like, you know what, you look cute, you sound cute, you feeling, I'm feeling you, but no, what you coming with? So with that being said, Leo, you get a lot of attention here. So, but you're taking your time. Just because something gives you attention doesn't mean that it deserves yours, right? All right, let's see. Again, you're being led. Yeah. So this is also a connection that you're being introduced to from your higher power. Look at this. All right. It does look like there's going to be a lot of growth, expansion happening here. A lot of forward movement happening in this situation. And this could be your ideal relationship with the star. All right. So let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you. Yes, look at this. Like I said, you know, it looks like you have someone here that wants a brand new beginning with you. There is passion. There's attraction here. However, you're not leading with this. And this is another thing that you are being very cautious about, because possibly the last person that you were dealing with, it was all about, you know, just for the thick of it, the thrill of it, you know. But you got somebody that's coming in that wants balance, equal give and take. Absolutely. Blocking out any type of negative energy here, especially if this is a past person. And moving into calmer waters here. This is somebody that's equally yoked with you. And this is a brand new connection. Oh, sucky now. We got some feelings here too. Somebody's got feelings. All right, so this is actually going to move forward. For somebody here, there could be some travel here. There could also be communication online. But whoever this is somebody that takes action. They're action oriented. I like this about this person here. So they're not just all talk and wanting you to chase them and all of that, especially because this person thinks that, you know, they might be really good looking. But this is not somebody that is arrogant, all up in their ego, wanting somebody to, you know, bend over backwards to try to be with them and, you know, all this other kind of stuff. This is somebody that's really down to earth. All right, so I really like that. All right, so anything else from the Leos? And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I've already had to stop this video for a few minutes. All right, let's see. And I know this is not going to resonate with everyone. Everyone. Oh my God. With everybody here, just keep in mind that some of this could be for you. Others could be Other pieces could be for someone else here. Okay. All right, let's see. Ooh, sorry. All right, let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you. All right, we have the Four of Michael. Insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep and time off. Seek relief from stress. Somebody here, you could be under a lot of stress, and maybe this is the reason why this position is ending, especially if it's involuntarily. All right, so Four of Ariel. When you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change. Extremes in how you save or spend money, right? Somebody here, with this micromanaging, the feeling that you can't grow, you're not receiving what you're, the compensation for what you give here, and it kind of seems like nothing is enough. You may be being pushed out of a situation that you're trying to hold on to, okay? So being resistant to change. All right, so there's that. Also, extremes in how you spend money. Someone here, you may really need to cut back, especially if you kind of feel this energy is kind of, weird where you are. At the position, like I said, I don't want to say supervisor, but somebody here could be like really just harping on you. All right, so if that's the case, you might feel that things are getting tense. The wheel on the bottom of the fortune. The wheel here on the bottom of the deck. New beginnings happening. End of delays. A change in direction that offers happiness. So you may be holding on to a situation where Source is trying to tell you, let go. It's like it's got sticky tape on it, and Source is shaking your hand, let go, and you're like holding on to it. I'm trying to let go, and now it's stuck over here. So with that being said, you might find yourself dependent upon a situation that you're being asked to let go of. But like I said, do it wisely. Start looking for something else. If it's getting too hectic where you are, put the feelers out there. I'm going to say, go big with it too. Apply for the type of job that you want. You might not even have the qualifications on paper, but you never know, sweetheart. Sometimes you can interview for a position. You might not be all there yet, but somebody gets to know your personality and things like that. You know what? I think this person will be a great asset to the company. And I know it may take a minute, to get them up to speed, but I'm willing to train this person, to invest in them, because I think that they'll, what they give will be an asset. You never know. A closed mouth don't get fed. All right, so with that being said, we have the Six of Ariel. Material needs get fulfilled in a magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness. Giving and receiving with a grateful heart. So again, we have giving and receiving. Some of you have sowed seeds into others. Dropped some diamonds on some other people just because you got it, baby. You got that knowledge. You have that information. You have those few minutes that, you could have been doing this, but you took time out to listen to this person, to let them vent. You know what I mean? To, let them know, hey, you know what? I understand that you feeling this way about this situation, but me personally, I have a totally point of view, different point of view. Let me tell you what I see. And that helps give somebody clarity or whatever, to move forward, to breathe again, okay? Sometimes what we go through can seem a bit worse than what it actually is. All right, so divine guidance. Look at this. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. So consider a different approach. You may be holding on for dear life when Source is trying to tell you, I need for you to let go, sweetheart. I got you. All right, give me messages. All right, the Sun. Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. Absolutely. All right, no stinking thinking. And come from amongst people that try to, fill your head with doubt and all kind of things like that. You know what I mean? It's like somebody trying to tell you, this is so funny because I had a conversation like this the other day. It's like somebody trying to tell you how the story ends and they only read the first portion of the book. You understand? You done missed everything in between and how they ended up where they are and what took place in between, okay? So going out with half-hearted information. So with that being said, you know, find like-minded people, people that can, you know, help usher you to where you want to be. All right, let's see. And get around positive people. All right, so let's see. Queen of Gabriel, you can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. Confirmation, absolutely. All right, so the world is yours, Craig. All right, let's see. Go out and go get it. Make change happen. All right, the 5 of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. The 5 is a change, okay? And this is the reason for the reading. Release regret and embrace opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. Absolutely, okay? All right, if something ended, that means that time was over with. Okay, it's like that game Perfection. You only have so many seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, weeks on the clock here. When that pops up, hey, all hell breaks loose. That's that tower moment. Now you got to put the pieces back together. You understand that sometimes you'll run out of time again before you get everything settled up. Why? Because that's a temporary situation. Now you're being moved on to something else. Life is forever evolving and revolving. You know what I mean? We're repeating certain cycles. Sometimes we repeat them and sometimes we repeat it in a different scenario. But each time we should take something positive out of that situation. Sometimes the positive thing is don't repeat this issue again and move on, right? All right, so the overall energy is the 6 of Michael. It is a light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation or travel. So we did see that as well. All right, and relocation, that could just be you relocating for a job or something like that. Somebody here could be traveling out of the country. All right, and if so, have fun, do what you need to do, and yeah, send us a postcard. All right, let's see. All right, so we are going to get some of these and some of those. And some of those. All right, so. All right, and I got to get up and move from here. All right, let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you for Leo. Regarding this situation, one more for Leo. Thank you. All right, so renewed love, a strengthening of bonds, resolution, strong connections. Okay, so for somebody here, you do have some love coming in, and you'll have the people that you need around you to help usher you through this season. Those that love, that care for you, okay? All right, control. Coming into balance with the ability to direct your own will, strength, and confidence. All right, messages. A welcome message will soon arrive. So you have some communication coming through as well. I like this for you. That communication is going to bring some good news. All right, let's see. For somebody here, it may not seem like it, but it is. It actually is. All right. Let's see. I'll do one more deck after this one, and I'm going to go ahead and close this out. This situation is fraught with deception. What you have been through can only make you stronger. The worst is over. So there is somebody here that is being deceptive, sneaky, working behind the scenes. Like I said, but you got guardian angels here. You are watched over and protected by the divine. Move forward with confidence and know that you are never alone. Absolutely. All right, when God is for you, who be against you? Trust your intuition in this situation. What you are sensing is spot on. All right, so divination is here. So you may have gotten a reading or confirmation in this reading. All right, let's see. All right, and then on the bottom of the deck, it says perspective. Perspective can help you understand the situation. Try to look through a new lens to see their point of view. All right, and not being funny, sometimes you'll find out, you know, you're kind of wondering why is such and such acting weird that way or whatever. Like I said, sometimes you're put in people's lives for their own karma and they don't realize it until they're like, dang, you know what? I shouldn't have involved myself in that because now X, Y, and Z is going wrong. And then on top of that, especially if you're dealing with people who like to micromanage, who like to just give you a hard time or whatever, sometimes it's a realization that they're really a shitty person. You know, that I really, really did that. I really tried to push somebody out. You know what I mean? What is wrong with me? A lot. You understand? You need to check yourself. But, and then there's some people who actually do stuff like that and they get a thrill out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, there's that. So, you might be exposing somebody's true character, true nature. I don't know. All right, the person in your thoughts is grateful to have you in their life. You are a gift to them, their heart's treasure. So for somebody here, you could be in a situation here where you are in a position where you're being micromanaged or whatever. There could be somebody else at that place where you are that person's backbone. You are that person's voice of reason. You are that person's real true friend and confidant. Someone here, you may be, you know, assisting that person when they have that broken wing. You know what I mean? They could be going through something. You could be counseling or coaching somebody through something. Just by being there, you might be inspiring them to make changes in their lives. You understand? You never know what people go through behind the scenes off the job. You know, so you may be the person that is there to uplift someone when they don't have anybody. You never know. But in turn, that negative energy may be targeting you because you are assisting someone out of a dark place here, okay? So with that being said, like I said, you know, sometimes we're all somebody's karma, and you never know whose life you're affecting. Sometimes you may think it's this person over here when it's actually Sally Sue that's sitting 2 rows behind you in the next cubicle. You feel me? They might be overhearing something that you're doing. They might be watching how you walk, with a regal stature. They might see how you're, you know, not folding under pressure here as well. And maybe you're giving that person the confidence to stand up for themselves, speak up for themselves. Okay, there's that. Someone here may dress down at work. You know what I mean? Because there's a such thing as, like, you know, if you want to come into the office looking good that day, you may not even see clients or other people, but you just felt like putting something nice on, and other people, who do they think they are? Blah, blah, blah. There's people like that too. Damn it, because I got it in my closet and I bought it, I paid for it, I look good in it, and I want to wear it. How about that? You feel me? You could give somebody the confidence to start, you know, fixing themselves up just because, not because anybody else is looking, but because you like the way that you look in the mirror and what's looking back at you, and it makes you feel better. You understand? So with that being said, like I said, you never know how you're affecting somebody else's life. And please know, what you have been through can only make you stronger. The worst is over. All right, and it's asking you, how do you see yourself in this situation? Self-awareness can help you gain a new perspective here as well. So also, if you're not happy where you are in your life, if you can do this, you can make change. Okay, as long as there's breath in you, you can change your life. May not be one big full force change, but little small increments. Okay, and it starts off with you, with the mindset first. All right, my loves. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I forgot something. All right, let's see. I forgot this card. All right, let's see. All right, what does Leo need to know? Leo needs to go in here and turn this heater down because it done got hot in here. All right, let's see. Somebody here is scared of change. All right, step away. Distance will give you the perspective to see how this will or will not fit in your future. Okay, somebody here, I don't know if you're going on leave of absence. Somebody here could go on vacation and go, I do not want to go back. I don't know. Maybe it may have taken a long extended break or something like that or whatever. Okay, but somebody here, you need to kind of pull yourself back. And like I said earlier, you might see yourself in this situation and somebody's like, you know what, I got a different point of view. All right, maybe you need to kind of step back and look at the bigger picture. All right, so bottled up. Holding things in strengthens their grip on you. Express and release to diminish their power and foster true healing. Okay, so for some of y'all, you got somebody here that is micromanaging. I mean, they are on your heels. You understand? For some of you, you need to seek avenues that can help you and ask for advice. Okay, some of y'all need to go to your shop store, your union. Some of y'all need to start writing down a document. Everything is on paperwork. Okay, BCC yourself. In everything that you do, whatever it is that you do, you might have to tag somebody's supervisor in there. Leave a paper trail, okay? So with that being said, hey, if the person is one that likes to confront you, you know, verbally, in face, hey, do you mind if I record this situation? All right, so I'm just saying, for my own records or whatever, you know, do what you got to do to CYA. Cover your behind. All right, so anyway, now this is what I got for y'all, okay? Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you for rocking with your girl, and most of all, thank you for your patience. Take care. Bye.